Roy Baharav, how are you doing?
Doing well, Omri. Thank you for chatting with me.
I'm super excited. You guys have been, Hyoto have been doing amazing stuff. A lot of people are talking about you guys. There's been tons of press announcements recently. How are you feeling? How are you feeling about the company?
I think it's an exciting time for High Auto and for the industry in general. Restaurants are trying to see how they are cutting costs and building sales, and High Auto is helping them create another element, which is the voice of their brand and how they can better engage with their customers and be more efficient.
That's amazing. You guys have been working with really hallmark names, right? Many different strong brands in the United States. How is it to be working with such big brands and helping them actually see results on the bottom line?
Uh, I think iAuto is a global company operating from different parts of the world. Our largest team is actually in Europe. We have a team in the US, we have a team in Israel, and we have also a very large team in Asia. We are working with brands like Bojangles, Checkers and Rallies, Burger King in New Zealand and in some other places, Coke in the UK. And for a company to work with these large brands is a very exciting. And as a child, you grow
Hmm.
on these QSR brands and being able to contribute something to the experience of going to the drive-thru and ordering food is so fundamental to things we grew up on that it makes us very proud that we can contribute something to this evolution of this service.
A lot of traditional companies are trying to incorporate AI. You see this in a lot of different verticals from B2C to B2B. We're talking about restaurants, we're talking about movie theaters. Like everyone's trying to see how they can incorporate AI to basically cut costs and increase sales, like you mentioned. What are some of the challenges of incorporating AI in the QSR business? Like, what are you guys seeing?
QSR The QSR industry is under significant distress because of the rise in labor costs
Mm-hmm.
and in food costs. And it got to the limit of how much you can raise prices. And now the focus is on how to become more efficient while at the same time improve your service. The focus goes to automation and AI in order to create automation and improve the service. One of the first areas that brought and brings a lot of value to these restaurants is order taking at the drive-thru. And first of all, the reason is that at the drive-thru, when you're at the speaker post and you talk to someone at the restaurant, you don't see that person, you just hear their voice.
Mm-hmm.
So changing that function with AI is relatively seamless and it introduces a lot of advantages. So now you can create a consistent voice across all your restaurants. You can decide how do you want to greet people in the morning and in the evening and during holidays. And you can make the script very friendly. You can make it shorter and you get a lot of advantages. At the same time, you can make your labor be more efficient. You don't have to train employees as much on how to take orders. They can do other things. They can accelerate the preparation of the food, and they can look the guest in the eye and provide them with a more friendly service when they actually get to the window to get the food.
What kind of results are you guys seeing? Because when looking at your website and when looking at some of those press releases that came out, the results are pretty astonishing from the deliverables you guys are able to showcase to your clients. Can you share and mention some of the numbers that you guys are seeing from your side?
First of all, the main piece in order to deliver a value to the restaurant, the quality of taking the orders at the drive-thru with the AI needs to be at least as good as an employee, as a human employee. Otherwise, what happens, because a restaurant is like a production line, if you make a mistake, it means that someone needs to stop what they're doing and now fix the problem that the AI created, and that's an issue. So Hi Auto is leading the space in terms of accuracy in taking orders. We are getting to a 96, 97% accuracy. And we are able to handle almost every case at the drive-thru. And as a result, our completion rate, the number of orders that we are completing without someone at the restaurant needing to intervene, is on average about 93%, which is unprecedented, especially when you look at the fact that Hi Auto is getting close to 1,000 live drive-thrus today, which is the most in the industry.
Sounds like an easy sell. So when you guys go to a McDonald's, let's say McDonald's is a prospect, it should be a super easy sell, don't you think? When you guys have that numbers going on for you guys and you guys can come in and tell them how they can incorporate AI, what are some pushbacks that you guys are getting from initial sales calls or initial onboarding sessions?
I wish it was an easy sell, but it's a very important function. So if you look at the drive-thru function, this is position number one at the restaurant. Replacing it with voice AI is a major decision. Some call it a career-ending decision to decide to do that. So typically it starts with a pilot, and then you go to a few dozen stores and you check all the metrics and you make sure that how does it impact your sales and how does it impact the guest feedback and how do the employees like it. So it takes time, but I can tell you that the percent of pilots that actually stopped is very, very low. Also, there is a matter of cost, which is not a cheap technology. And all of that is something that takes time to build. But Hi Auto has been growing very, very significantly over the last few years. And we expect the industry to adopt this technology in very large numbers in the next 3 or 4 years.
You guys have raised $16 million recently, is that correct?
We raised 15 million.
15, okay. How was that process like?
The process of raising money.
Mm-hmm.
The market for fundraising is not what it used to be. Hi Auto is a company in its growth state. It means that investors are looking at us and are looking at the pace of growth, how many restaurants we are adding, how much are we increasing our annual run rate, how quickly we are going to become profitable. And this is also something that is very important to our customers because they're allowing us to take a very mission critical function in their operations, and they want to make sure that Hi Auto is very, very sustainable. And this round is something that helped get them be more comfortable with that.
When you look at the QSR business, and now you have companies like Hi Auto who are incorporating AI into the drive-through sections, into the kiosks. What is the next step with AI? Are we going to have robots instead of humans delivering the food or making the food? What are the next steps that you think are going to happen technology-wise in that vertical?
So I think on the hardware side, things take longer. And the reason is that, as I mentioned before, the QSR restaurants are like a production line. Each employee has certain tasks that they're doing, and this is what they do. There is a playbook for each period of the day based on the volume that the restaurant is running. And the restaurant is built for this playbook. So it's not so easy to replace certain elements. So the advancement in robotics is definitely going to get there, but it may take much longer. It may take 10 or maybe even longer, 15 years until you see restaurants becoming fully automated. I think that what's going to happen in between is that we're going to see the technology telling employees what to do. So connecting the employees to the data. And this is something that, by the way, we at Hi Auto can help with, because one of the things that we do is we are able to speak with the guests, but we are also able to speak with the employees. So the auto assistant is able to talk to the employees and tell them, for example, or the employees can tell Hi Auto, we are out of wings for 20 minutes, and then we know not to sell it. But we can use this channel in order to do other things. For example, tell the employee, listen, there is now a downtime. you should go and do your daily task of cleaning the dumpster, for example. And still you need the employees to be the hands, but you can essentially replace them or ease the management function in the restaurant.
Roy, we have one last question for you today. You're a super effective CEO. What is the number one tip you would give for younger CEOs or other CEOs who really want to take their game to the next level and take their team to the next level?
I think that I have always 3 tips that I provide. One is I think you have to find a very strong team and specifically very strong co-founder when you go down this path. The second is make sure that you're getting your strategic bets right. If you get those right, you can make a lot of other mistakes and you're still going to be successful. And the third, make sure that you have a lot of luck. And if you don't, then maybe you should consider doing other things.
So I just want to ask one question. So you mentioned the strategic bets. What are you referring to? Are you referring to basically deciding to go on a specific vertical or specific game plan? So you could, for example, have game plan. You have a really great game plan, but the execution could be a bit murky. But because the game plan is so good and the strategy is so good, it will work out. Is that what you're referring to?
For example, if you believe that, let's talk about the robotics question. It's not something that Auto is playing in this field. But for example, with robotics, if I made an assumption, okay, the assumption I made is that it's going to take 10 years until the restaurants are going to replace their equipment with automated equipment that across everything that you don't need employees, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So build a company that is trying to make employees more efficient, and actually it doesn't take 10 years, it takes 2 years, then you're not going to be successful because there are not going to be employees. And so this is a strategic bet, okay? In our world, in Hi Auto's world, we made a very important strategic bet. We made a few important strategic bets, but one of them was the bet on the voice AI in the drive-thru. This was a very basic bet where we understood that voice AI is something that can replace an employee. It's something that brings a lot of value. And another important assumption we made is that you must provide voice AI at the quality level, at the accuracy level of an employee. And if you're not at that level, you are not bringing ROI to the restaurant. And we understood that very early on, and we did very significant things in order to be at this level. And this is what allows us today to be, the only company that is commercially successful at scale.
Amazing. Roy, thank you so much for your time. Hi Auto is super exciting. There's so many big announcements and launches coming out. I advise everyone who's watching this to check out Hi Auto, check out Roy on LinkedIn, check out their LinkedIn company page as well. And yeah, Roy, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Omri.